Hi, in this video, I want to share some insights that I have received and remembered about how to work with and activate the octagon symbol. This symbol has been one of my favorites. I've always been drawn to this symbol from way back then, and it's only now that I'm gaining a little understanding about how it is used. So right now, the veils are really thinning, and if you've been drawn to a symbol, pay attention to them because information might be coming to you from various realms, from various sources about how to use those symbols. And you know, symbols are usually very, very specific to us. And sometimes after we have integrated those symbols in our lives, then we can share them with others. And that's really my intention for making this video. It's my personal, process of understanding. And I'm sharing it because sometimes when we share this information, they act as triggers for others. You know, something I might say, something you might see, something you might hear might really get you on that road where you're, getting more interested in working with symbols and seeing how it turns out for you. You know, this symbol, the octagon symbol, is a really, really powerful, powerful symbol because it's an energy portal that you can use to gain access into a new experience. So in this video, I just want to mention that symbols are information, language that is received instantly. You either resonate with that information that comes forth from a symbol or not. And sometimes the energy comes inside you and within your field, and you see instant results, and other times it takes a while. But either way, by the power of the shape of the symbol itself, there's an energy projection into your force field of light. So it's always wonderful to work with symbols. That's the reason why we create grids. Same thing. You release yourself from it and allow the beneficial energies by the power of your intention to allow things to start moving around, to shift energies around. So I really love symbols because they really are shortcuts. Sometimes you don't have to say so much because the symbol itself, the energy of the symbol, your intention will always create what you need. So they're very, very wonderful tools that assist us in this process of life. Anyway, let me get to how I learned about the energies of the octagon symbol. One day I had a dream, and in the dream I could hear people toning, using the power of their voices, the essence that was coming from within them. And there was an octagon sign with a cross in the middle, just the way I have drawn this one. So this is really personal for me because it's a symbol that I saw in my dream, an octagon with a cross in the middle, and the people were toning. And the sounds were coming out. And as they made these tones with their voices, there was no additional instrument. As they made the tones, I can't remember what specific tone it was. I'm assuming it was the Om. When they made that sound, this cross in the middle opened up inward. And the next thing I knew, that the people who were toning were inside a new experience. Life had shifted, something had shifted. So at that point, I understood two things. Number one, that the octagon is truly an energy portal that truly has beneficial energies, and it can open up portals. It can shift the direction. It can move energy. It can open up our hearts. It can take us somewhere where we need to go. And number two, what takes us where we need to go is the power of the tones of our voices. There's an energy there that activates the octagon. So the octagon symbol and the tones of our voices, the sound that we produce from our essences, from our spirit, from within us, are a combination key that work together beautifully to help us enter into new experiences in our lives. So those are the two things that I discovered from my dream about the octagon symbol. The octagon symbol being the energy portal that allows us to enter into new experiences, and the power of our voices, the tones, the sounds that come from within us being the keys that activate the octagon symbol. And this made me think of something very interesting, at least to me. If our voices are that powerful, if our voices are keys that can allow us to gain access into new experiences in our lives, how do we really feel about the sounds of our voices? How do you feel about the sound of your voice? When you hear the sound of your voice, when you hear yourself speaking, when you hear yourself singing, when you express from your throat chakra, when you're communicating with others and you hear the sound of your voice, that powerful key that can open up portals that allow you to have new experiences. How do you really feel about the sound of your voice? Do you cringe? Do you contract? Do you make faces? You know how it is when sometimes you hear your voice and you're just like, oh my gosh, that can't be me. And you want to hide. We are missing out on something. If we are avoiding the sounds of our voices, we are missing out on the powerful keys that open up portals into new experiences. We are missing out on the ability to expand, to enter into a new place, to change and shift our lives because of the resistance that we have to the power of the sound of our voices. It's very, very, very important, I think, because we really, truly have to be in alignment with everything that we are. We truly have to love ourselves, including our voices. And especially at this time when the power of our voices, who we are, has to come out, the essence of who we are in truth. The throat chakra really is about the voice, about authenticity, about our truth, about hearing our inner voices, about communicating and expressing ourselves, our individuality. So at this time, it's going to be so crucial because it's not going to be about listening to anybody but ourselves. So at this time, it's time to release the resistance to your voice. How about that? Release the resistance, work on it, love it up, because that voice is a key into a portal that's going to be providing lots of wonderful experiences for us. And anyway, let me just say something before I forget. I want to make this video short. I just noticed the other day that the stop signs are really an octagon shape. And I just almost laughed because I sort of understood, how hacked these symbols are. The USA stop sign, and maybe in many other countries, is in the shape of an octagon. And it has this stop. I mean, it's red. The background is usually red, and then it has a stop sign in the middle. And I'm like, what are they talking about? The stop sign basically means that these people know, the powers that be know, that this is a symbol that that allows us to go forward, allows us to enter into new spaces. And then the interesting thing also is that the background is red. It's very warlike, like there's an energy and a suggestion that this is a very serious sign to pay attention to. So people are just driving by, and every time you see a stop sign, automatically you start putting the brakes on, you start slowing down, and you kind of stop. So this is a way that energy is being controlled. They already know that the octagon has that ability to really manage the flow of energy from 8 different directions, beneficial energy. It really truly has that frequency that allows people to change, that allows people to move forward, that allows people to go and do what they got to do. So they put a huge stop sign, stop. So energetically, there's just something that happens to people when this sign comes. So I just noticed this and I laughed because I know that the sound of my voice and me speaking out my truth and declaring that this is a go sign for me. Every time I see the stop sign now, I'm intentionally saying, this basically means it's time for me to enter a new energy. I'm going, and this whole background is green. So for me, the stop sign now is one of those little tools and things that I do for myself to remind me that, Caroline, it's time to enter a new frequency. Stop? No, I don't have to stop. I'm moving forward. I'm changing. I'm shifting my life. I'm expanding. I'm growing. And that's how it has to be. So I really, really love the octagon symbol. And a lot of these things cannot be explained, rationally. They're not going to be rationalized by anyone. They're our own personal truths. And that's what we live by. And really, that's what I'm trying to live by. Follow my intuition, trust myself, and go by it. So if you work with the octagon symbol, I'd like to know how you're experiencing it. If you've ever worked with it before, if you benefited from this and this resonated with you, let me know how you're working with it. You can work with the symbols by intention. You can put them everywhere around your house just to project that energy of, I want to enter into a new frequency. I want to shift my life. I want to open myself. I want to move from a stuck position and move into a new position. You can tone, use the sounds of your voices when you're visualizing these symbols, tone, use the sound. I love the sound because I heard it in a dream and I knew that it was the sound or the tone that I can always use when I'm visualizing an octagon and seeing myself moving through a space. Is it truly is my favorite sound to tone when I have to tone. And then, you can also use it on a grid with the intention of helping you shift energy. So there's a lot of ways we can use these symbols. Symbols are telepathic, light language conversations that really, really bring things to, they really, really close the gap. So there's not so many words to be used the way I'm using them on this video. So anyway, guys, enjoy the octagon symbols. Use the power of the symbols to really change your life and to manifest all the good things that you want in your life. I'll see you next time on the next video. In the meantime, we are love. Let's continue being love. Mwah. Bye.